is going to give us. All right. We're going to start our business meeting. So if we could all sit down and we can get this taken care of. The reason why I've called this is the last budget meeting we were at, we had a vote on the pavilion that did not pass, and there was another offer that didn't pass either. And in this fund, in the Special Projects Fund, was $23,000. And right now, that is locked, and we can't do anything with it because we haven't approved anything for that to go to. So we're going to just explain real quick, but what I'm wanting to propose, and we'll have opportunity to discuss, is to the Special Projects Committee has passed or wants to put forward another gazebo, but it is smaller. And Bill, if I'm not mistaken, it's there it is right there. That is across from the Truman Library, and it's the same size as what we're wanting to do. There'll probably be maybe some modifications to that, so 12.5 by 15.5. The budget on that is, instead of $23,000, it's $10,000. So that has significantly been reduced. And what we're wanting to do is, for the remaining $13,000, is start a family special needs fund that we would put that $13,000 to that family needs fund. It is for more special projects, a deck, leaking house. We're all familiar with the Hendrick situation where we helped them out. So this will put it under that fund for use, and then we would continue to give to that fund and hopefully keep that going. Pam is going to explain some of the budget and things that we need to hear, that what money we're giving and where it goes and how it's appropriated.
You're lucky enough to hear two treasurers this morning and listening to Sean talk about restricted funds. This is why we are bringing this forward this morning, because these funds are restricted funds. So this is what I wanted to bring to you. Very, very briefly, because I'm hungry and I want to eat, I will present this. This is our budget for 2024. You can read the numbers, it doesn't matter. What matters is it was $193,350 is our budget. That's budgeted things that we can spend money on that are non-restricted, okay? This is where it gets confusing, and a lot of people come to me and they don't understand this. That's why I'm explaining this. Okay, these are the self-funding funds or the restricted funds. The ones highlighted are the first 5 of them. The first one is special projects. That's the one we have the $23,000 plus in. That's because if you look at the front of your envelopes, there are 10 things listed. If you check any of those money are restricted funds. They have to go to those funds, and they cannot be used for anything else. Now, the bottom four, CPRS, Building Fund, Zion's Ridge, and Missionary, although they're not restricted funds because they are in the budget and we pay a certain amount, if you donate towards those, it goes to that fund. It doesn't go to anything else if you mark that on your envelope. Okay. Now, the budgetary funds, that's the $193,000 that we talked about. This is where all of that money goes to. This comes from the general fund, when you mark on your envelope, general or tithing, it all comes from that. So we have to pay all of these bills from those two items, categories, on your envelope. The other 8 go to restricted funds that can't be used for anything else. Okay? Which brings us to the point of the meeting.
I want to put forth a motion to discuss. Do I hear a second? Muriel? Are there any questions that we can discuss? Paulette? Oop, I can't hear you.
What?
The question is that what's the purpose of the gazebo? The young families have put that forth. It's going to be out here by the playground, and it's going to give our families a place to have their kids play, have a picnic, just use that as shelter more often than what they're currently using it for. There won't be anything like there was a question with the larger one, are we going to hold meetings in it or services? That's not the case with this. It's going to have probably about 6 picnic tables in it, and it's just an extension for anytime. Saturday or when we have special events out there, that would be available. Muriel?
I got a mic coming here.
So this shelter, it looked like the one at Truman, behind Truman Library, you say, had 3 tables, and it looked like it could sit 6, 12, 18 people there, and it would be large enough to take care of maybe our food. If we had a whole congregation activity out there, it would take care of our food layout, and everybody else would bring their chairs. I like this idea. I think it does give amenities to our church family to provide for ourselves, and also possibly offer what we have as a church to our neighborhood. But it also frees up money, very much needed funds for our family assistance needs. And I think this is a very good solution to this issue that we've had. Yeah.
Thanks, Muriel. Becky in the back.
Like Muriel said, I think it's a wonderful idea, especially it makes the space out there much more usable for families, for small gatherings. You could have youth group out there. You could have a children's class out there. You could have a neighborhood gathering, you know, invite the neighbors where they might not want to step inside the church, but they might come for something outside. I think it's wonderful.
Okay. Anybody else? Bob?
I'll just express I guess, a contrarian view that I know that we've got a lot of family needs in this branch, and the possibility of moving $23,000 to the family assistance budget appeals to me.
Okay.
Just to clarify why we're having this discussion, it's because, again, it's restricted funds, and because all of you were part of donated to those funds, all of you need to make the decision what we are going to do further with these funds.
And we'll have an opportunity of voting both of these. Elsie, can you help me?
I need a little clarification on, are we voting on one motion or two motions, or if we want it the way it's presented, is that the only option, yes or no, or can we vote on the family needs and the special project gazebo out there as two separate items so that we're not locked into either or?
Right. We're in discussion right now. So is there a motion? And we will vote on it. You seconded the motion.
I don't know what the question is.
As far as the Elsie.
I don't mean to be particular, but we don't have a motion right now. You opened it for discussion.
Right.
We should have had a motion or two motions and then opened the floor to discussion for each one of those motions.
What was
You
the
seconded the motion to open discussion. There was no motion before the board on amounts of money or anything because nothing had been presented. The motion that was presented was that we could discuss these things. We need to have a motion for one or the other or both in order to take a vote on those. Because as it sits now, we would just be voting on whether or not we were going to have a discussion or not.
Okay. All right, Bob?
I move that we free up the $23,000 for the branch for the branch to do designated things with. Then we can move further if we wish to designate. But I move that we free up the $23,000.
Do I hear a second? Elsie? All right, all those,
Now you can have discussion on that particular motion.
okay. Thank you, Elsie. This is my rookie pastor guys here, so bear with us. So let's have discussion on freeing up the $23,000. Any questions? Seeing none?
Should you clarify, Larry?
Yeah.
If this motion passes, then the gazebo is null and void.
The what?
No.
If the motion to put $23,000 into the family needs, then that
No,
would,
I don't think it was to
The motion is
family
just to
needs.
free it up, Elsie. We
It's
can
just
do
to
with
free
it.
it up.
To take it out of restricted.
okay, all right.
Just, exactly. So it's just to take the funds and make it non-restrictive, free it up, and then we'll go from there. All right.
If this motion is passed, will there be an opportunity in this meeting today for people to propose how to allocate the funds, or will this just settle the matter?
That,
That would be part of a later discussion.
yeah, that would be part of a later discussion, depending on how we propose and vote. No. Another budget meeting. Connie?
I guess my only concern here is that these funds were donated for a specific purpose. And I've seen this, like Oak Valley Country Day School, people donated things for a certain thing, and then that money got used for something else. It offended people. Of course, we had a great sermon about that today. I just have a hesitation about all of that money being taken out of something that people specifically donated it for.
Let me clarify that. We had a fund called Special Projects Fund. It covered a multitude of things over the years. That's always been the name of the fund. It covered the air conditioning, it covered the new kitchen, it covered many, many projects that we've had that people have contributed over the years. The latest one was the shelter, which was voted down during the budget meeting that they didn't want to go ahead with that, which left us $23,000 sitting there doing nobody any good. No, that was a good question that needed to be explained.
And also, if you guys know, just a side note, part of that was the sound deadening panels that have been put on the back. So basically, everything on that special needs fund has been taken care of. Parking lot would be the next thing, probably on there. Yeah. All right. So, okay.
I would just express the opinion that it seems like rather than just having a motion to just free up the funds or make them go into general, we should, in the same motion, we should allocate where they should go. And I'm saying I think it should be in the same motion, because if we free it up but we don't direct it, then that leaves an ambiguity about what it should be done with it.
At that point, we could have another motion on what to do with the $23,000. Is my, and this up here is what we're going to be voting on. Is that clear as mud?
No. It sounds right.
So hearing no other questions, we are going to vote. Or should I ask for the vote? Elsie?
We can vote.
We can vote for the $23,000 that is before us, to free it up.
That's the motion.
Okay.
But to clarify, that would be freed up for, it would not go into the general fund, it would still be for projects, or would it go into the general fund?
I think what Larry just said was we would vote to free it up out of the restricted fund and then have another motion as to what to do with the funds. Unless you want to make an amendment, which gets complicated.
Okay. Well, it's an extra step, but we can do it that way, because if it's
Right.
freed up and then we
Well, it's
vote to
been
do
put-
it, we could just vote to do it without freeing it up first.
Well, that's
But it's,
the
there's a
motion
motion before the board.
us. That's the motion before us, is to free up the $23,000.
Okay. Call for the vote if there's no other discussion.
Okay? All those in favor of $23,000 going to the general fund, or open it up,
Unrestricted.
unrestricted? Raise your hands. Those opposed? Seeing none, we have $23,000 in unrestricted money. Now, where I'm
I got
Go-
you, Vera.
what's that?
I'm coming.
So the money is freed up. I move that we accept these changes as you presented them today, and you can vote yea or nay on that. So we need a second on that.
Second? Bill? All right.
Again, there's a motion, you have to open it for discussion.
A motion, let's discuss then what is up on the front. With having a gazebo and 13,000 go into the special needs. No questions? Ivan? Oh, okay. Elsie, since you have the microphone, let's go first.
Once again, is this a single motion, so that is the only options that we have? Not individually. In other words, if I like the idea of the gazebo and don't like the family money, or if I like the family funds and don't like the gazebo, I don't have that choice. It's all or nothing. Pardon? Right, I have all or nothing.
Unless you want to make an amendment.
Or we can make an amendment.
All right. I would choose to amend the amendment to apply only to the gazebo at this time. And another thing is this the only size option that we have? I know that we looked at a number of options in the building committee, and a 12.5 by 15.5 is the distance between the posts. Is Bill here?
Yes.
Bill, do you have any numbers you want to? I mean,
Come
if
on
that's
up, Bill.
If that's okay with you, Larry.
Yes. Oh, you put the amendment. Do we hear a second for Elsie's amendment? Buck? Now we will open it up for discussion.
Yes.
The options that we looked at was a 12 by 20, a 15 by 20, and an 18 by 20. There's only $100 difference between each one of those for the building. The cement pad, to accommodate those, there's a difference of $800 on that. So if we went with the small one, 12 by 20, it would be $4,700. If we went with the large one, 18 by 20, it would be $5,600. The extra money for the 10,000 that we're looking at would be to bring water over there, electricity over there, put in that barbecue thing, whatever extras we'd want to put on that. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Any questions on that? Ivan?
So, Bill, what are the specs on the building? Is it just a prefab carport, or is it going to actually be like this?
Yeah, it doesn't look exactly like this. It's kind of a prefab carport. We had a picture of the larger one before when we were talking about it. I don't know if we can pull that up, but Rich is scratching his head back there. I don't think we have that on. I know, but it gave us a look of what it was like. Yes.
Will the 10,000 cover the picnic tables and a grill like shown in the picture, or is it just for the sheltering part?
Yeah, that would cover picnic tables too. If we went by the 18 by 20, we could probably get six-foot picnic tables in there, which would seat about, what do you put, 8 people around a table, so about 48 people.
So I want to make my comment. I'm not going to vote for this because while I supported the original gazebo, I was not wanting to have something that was a carport. I was kind of wanting something that was more of a more substantial, more robust. Since then, I've seen the hope, that's come from helping families get through situations where they had no idea how they were going to escape a problem of a house that the roof leaked, or that they had an ailing family member that couldn't get it into a bathtub, and we used money to put a shower in. I don't know. I've seen a different side of things, and I'm really interested in helping families more than just building fun recreational things here at Hope. I love gazebos. I love sitting outdoors and all of that, but I think at this time in our situation, we need to look to help these families that are struggling and have really nowhere else to turn. And I just really would like to see us convert all of that money that has been donated into something that can donate families that need it.
All right. For explanation, I made a motion that we separate the two out and vote on the projected project of the gazebo. I did that so that we could bring discussion forward in particular and not over the whole thing.
Right.
And so my motion was to put 10,000 towards the gazebo. And so to amend that motion, you could amend it by saying that we put all of the money towards the family needs. And then we would vote on that amendment first. If it passed, there would be no need to vote on my motion.
Or you can change your amendment because you're the one who did it and the person who seconded could agree.
Pardon?
Or you could change your amendment.
You can change your,
Because you're the one who made it.
Well, yeah, I could do that. Thank you. If that's the case, then I would rescind my motion and move that we put the whole $23,317.30 towards Family Needs Fund.
Second.
second? Ivan? There were too many hands going up. All right. So, we ready to vote?
You got to ask for
We have
discussion.
Ken.
Open up the discussion on the proposed amendment.
We are needing to consider both sides of this, and what I'm looking at is that that $10,000 is going to go toward a structure that is there for a specific purpose, and that is to provide shelter. Okay? I've heard I've heard kids' parents talk about the need for a place where they can sit and watch their kids, where they can be in the shade, where they can be protected from weather and that kind of thing. I think that that $10,000 gazebo is an important investment, okay? And I am totally in favor of the special projects need, or fund. I'm totally in favor of that. But I'm also looking at saying that $10,000 is going toward a permanent structure that is needed. And so I think this split that we're talking about here is a good split. Our congregation has never been shy about meeting those needs as they arise. Right. And I think we need to, just recognize there are two needs here. I think we need to address them both.
Okay. Any other questions?
I would agree with that. I mean, my heart, after what else he had to say, is that, yes, let's just give it all to the special needs, because that's the immediate need right now. We could also come back later and have a special item thing like we did with our kitchen, where people could donate to the kitchen or to this $10,000 project. But we need them both. We really do need them both, and so.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other discussion? Ben?
Just so I understand where we are right now, the main motion is what's on the screen, and then inside of that, we're on an amendment to get rid of the gazebo and put all $23,000 into family needs. Is that where we are? Is that correct?
Correct.
No, sorry, Larry, that's not correct. I rescinded my motion for the gazebo. The motion before the board now is to put all of the funds into the family needs. And so that is the motion before right now. No. That is the main motion now. I rescinded my motion. That's what Larry presented.
All right. Then.
So that's the amendment. That is the motion before the floor right now. Is that all the money would go to family needs?
Right. So if we vote now and it passes, the gazebo is done.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? Any other input? Food's getting cold.
I just want to reiterate that if we do vote yes, there will be no more voting today, and the shelter is off the board.
Okay. I could barely hear you.
Yeah, to clarify, if I may, Larry, that doesn't take the gazebo off the board as a
Correct.
Group, just for this
vote.
fund, and we have the right to do a special projects or raise money for that at any time in the future.
Right. Becky?
This money was raised for special projects, right? And if there is a need, a family need, we have always been generous. It doesn't mean that just because we're taking that $10,000 to do that special project, that there's only $13,000 left, because if there's a special need, God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. We can all help our brothers and sisters. That doesn't mean that there's a limit.
Yes.
I'll try to explain myself the best I can, because I get confused with all this stuff. But it seems to me that because they had this projects for the gazebo. Is that what it's called? Gazebo?
Right.
I would think they raised this amount of money, but they didn't accept it because it was so much. And so now that they lowered it for the 10,000, that's still part of that project. So I think we should keep that project, that with the 10,000, and then have the family needs money like you had right up there. To me, that just makes more sense because they did work for that project and put money into that.
Into the gazebo?
In the gazebo, but now they made it lower, 10,000, so now at least money, some of that money that was happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah, I hope everyone understood that.
So having heard the conversation, we're still voting on the $23,000 to go into the special needs fund. And the gazebo will be out there. Are there any options?
Pardon? Yes.
She moved the previous question.
Let Larry declare it, otherwise we have to vote on your motion. You can declare, if you see no other discussion, Larry, then it's within your power to declare
Let's vote.
discussion closed.
Okay. So we are voting. All in favor of the $23,000 going all to the special needs, special family needs, and the gazebo gets kicked on the can, and we can pick that up at the next business meeting. It's not a history thing. All those in favor, raise your hands. Okay, I count 16. All those against it? I count 9. 16 to 9. That it's all going to go, the $23,100 into the special needs fund. And my understanding that frees that up to start the new fund, the new special family needs fund. Is that?
We will get the envelopes reprinted so that you can designate that, but in the meantime, you'll have to just write that in if you have a contribution for that.
Yeah. The new fund will be on the envelopes, but write it in until then. All right. Do I hear a second to go ahead and go eat and end the business meeting? All right. I see a lot of seconds. I will say a prayer over the meal. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity we have to come together as a branch to discuss those things that are important to us and just praise you for this opportunity that we have. I would ask that you would bless this food that would nourish our bodies and that we would receive strength from it in doing thy will in everything that we do. These things I ask in your Son's name. Amen.